Hi, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have the POCO F7 Pro here in my hands to tell you what I liked most and least about it after testing it in case you're considering buying it. So the time has come to tell you not to buy the POCO F7 Pro without watching this video. We take into account its launch price, which has been 10,999 pesos. However, it must be noted that POCO renewed this series quite quickly. As a result, there is already the POCO F Pro and the F Ultra, which can compete directly with the same device. POCO consistently competes with its own products. But anyway, I mention it so that you also consider the F models. Now, let's begin with what I like the most about it. The device provides a 10-band equalizer that works without headphones. This is noteworthy since not all devices have this feature. If you love audio, you can fully customize it to suit your preferences. It also supports the entire range of high-resolution codecs for Bluetooth headphones, like LHDC, aptX, aptX Adaptive, and LDAC. It lets you adjust volume per app so you can play music and games at different volumes, prioritizing either. To the game's sounds, its selfie photos in portrait mode perform well, focusing on foreground objects, a feature rare in phones, even pricier ones. I believe it can be a true highlight. The 50 megapixel sensor is exceptionally well optimized, not only in high-resolution mode, but also when performing digital zoom. This is noteworthy because in the past, the POCO brand wasn't particularly known for its excellence in the camera department. However, I believe those days are now a thing of the past. In this particular case, even for macro photography, when you apply 2x zoom, it results in very good quality. Additionally, it can record video up to 4K at 24 frames per second, or 4K at 60 frames per second. The nighttime recording quality is impressive, offering slow motion up to 1920 frames per second. However, this is only available in HD resolution. Despite this, it includes small details typically found in much pricier devices when it comes to video recording. Additionally, it promises to deliver 4 years of software updates along with 6 years of security patches. Therefore, this device is not likely to become obsolete quickly or anything similar to that. That's certainly something to be applauded since POCO is a brand that really tries to keep its budget tight, yet it still provides us with a clear and sufficiently good policy on updates. Moreover, it also includes an ultrasonic fingerprint reader. This is truly impressive because such readers are typically found only in the premium range. For those who are unaware, one of its advantages is that it doesn't emit any annoying light, which can be a great benefit in the evenings. It may be tedious and annoying, but it is a much quicker reader than the optical reader. Plus, it can still function even if your finger is wet. Therefore, there are numerous advantages to using an ultrasonic fingerprint reader as opposed to an optical reader, which is what the majority of devices in this market typically feature. Price range. I believe the battery performs quite well and it charges from 0 to 100% in about 45 minutes. At least that's what happened during my testing. I think this is a positive aspect worth mentioning. However, something that really deserves a lot of emphasis is the special page it has, which provides detailed information about the battery's wear and tear. This feature becomes very important if you are considering purchasing a pre-owned device, as it allows you to know precisely what the current condition of the battery is, including its health status, and also how many charge and discharge cycles have already been completed or used. Additionally, it comes equipped with Wi-Fi 7 connectivity, which allows for exceptionally high download speeds. Furthermore, it features infrared capabilities, although the infrared sensor is located on the back of the device, enabling you to control various electronic devices with ease, remotely. And we are already aware that as a member of the Xiaomi family, you gain access to an extensive ecosystem via the Mi Home app. This app allows you to connect all sorts of accessories. Moreover, there is actually a version offering 512 GB of storage. Although it is priced slightly higher, it is worth considering because such a large amount of storage is not commonly found on budget devices, making it quite unique and valuable. While this may not be considered super affordable, let's consider that it can actually compete in numerous aspects with a high-end flagship device, yet it still manages to maintain a significantly lower price point compared to a flagship device. It is equipped with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which performs exceptionally well. On average, it took about 2 seconds to open every application I tested. There were no reboots, indicating that it manages its RAM efficiently. When it comes to gaming, it performs incredibly well. However, let me now share with you what aspects I didn't find as appealing. Its availability is restricted to online platforms or official Xiaomi retail locations. Therefore, it might not be very straightforward to find it in a physical store. If you're someone who isn't particularly fond of online shopping, this could pose your initial challenge. Regarding the screen's low brightness, I would say it doesn't go as low as I would have preferred. While it's not a major issue, there are other devices on the market where you can reduce the brightness a bit more. The front camera has limitations with its video recording capabilities because it doesn't support 4K. In this price range, and even in cheaper devices, we can already find options with a front camera that records in 4K. So, if you are a content creator, I believe it won't be very beneficial for you to record yourself using it. Furthermore, the ultra-wide camera also has restrictions as it can't achieve that resolution. 4K, that's exclusive to the main camera, and it can't even record at 60 frames per second. When it comes to the software, the reality is that we already acknowledge that we haven't yet found anything very refined or comparable. I believe we need to wait for perhaps 2 or 3 more updates before Xiaomi's software starts to gain a bit more recognition and popularity due to this capability. Even now, we continue to notice inconsistencies and small details that we are not fond of. However, if you have already made the purchase, please share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your opinion, what you thought of it, and whether you believe it was a worthwhile purchase or not. Also mention where you bought it and the price you paid for it. We've reached the end of this video. If you liked it, let me know. See you next time.